Fight fans, look back to Carlo Prusa MMA. My guest today has been on here a couple of times. He's getting ready, making his PFL return after about a year layoff. Big co-main event matchup, August 7th, PFL Charlotte. He's taking on Josh Silveira. It's mullet versus mullet, ladies and gentlemen. He is the Canadian Mr. Aaron Jeffery. Hey, Jay, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Doing good, man. So, like I said, it's been a little bit since you fought last. Last time out was against Dalton Rasta. Some injuries coming up, a little over a year. Does it feel good to be back, be at the hotel, get ready for fight week?
Feels good, man. Feels really good. I wasn't sure if I was going to be back. Like, the injury I had was pretty shitty, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen after. So I'm grateful to be here.
You know, throughout your career, I mean, we talked about before, the life of a professional fighter, it's a roller coaster. You have these highs, you have these lows. You have battled the injury bug a few times. During those times, man, how important is mindset to try to, remain positive, remain calm, and battle through it?
It's huge, man. Like you see some guys like recently in the media when they're done with the sport, sometimes it doesn't go that well, right? You have guys kind of losing their minds. So sometimes after an injury, that's how it feels. It feels like your life is taken away from you. And, yeah, you got to stay grounded, I guess. Like it's super important to have like a good, like team of support around you, which I am fortunate enough to have. So, yeah, it's huge, man. You gotta stay positive during that shit.
You did a lot of your training camp this time around back home, Niagara top team with the rest of the guys. What does that team mean to you?
It's sick, man. It's a solid room, not only from like a talent level, like so many high level guys, but like as a team, there's not many gyms I've been in where the team is that close and it actually all feels like one team. Like you get into some of these big gyms, like Killcliff is fucking great and they're like a family to me too. But there's so many guys, it kind of feels like a little bit, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like segregated almost. Like there can be like different little pockets of guys that train with each other, but NTT is awesome. It's like big enough that we have like enough training partners and different looks, but it's still small enough that it feels like one cohesive team.
That gym's absolutely loaded. Obviously, you have Jazz doing her thing. You have Shavana Checks now in the UFC, Siri Sadi, Mikey Malot's Captain Canada over there. Is that just a testament of how martial arts has grown and evolved in Canada? Like at one point, they didn't really have a regional scene. Now you have Unified and Samurai and Battlefield and all these big shows. Does that just show the growth?
Yeah, man. These up and comers now are super fortunate. I don't think they understand how good they have it right now. Because when I was coming up, I don't even think MMA was legal in Canada yet. So I was driving down to the States all the time. Always being the out of town guy, fighting the hometown guy, fighting for like some little promotion somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Ohio with like 100 people in the crowd, like fighting outside at the fairgrounds and shit. So yeah, now these guys got like, they're amateur fighters with like cameramen and hype videos and promotions making like promos for them and shit. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Absolutely. For me growing up, some of the guys that I really liked, the Canadian fighters, obviously you had your Mark Homniks, you had your Jesse Ronsons, you had your Carmonts, you had the guys from Quebec, the guys from London. For you, do you look at those guys kind of as inspirations to help, pave the way for Canadian guys like you now?
For sure, man. And like you see these guys at shows sometimes and stuff. And yeah, they're all like Canadian legends. Like I used to go to Adrenaline back in the day and train with some of those guys, man. And there were guys that I look up to and still do in a way. So yeah, like for sure they paved the way for us, like Sam Stout, Clements, Hominick, Hordecki, like all these guys, Ronson. Yeah, it's yeah, they're legends of Canadian MMA and it's cool to still like see them around.
Back in the day, the 2010, 2011 timeframe when you first started getting into competing, when you were telling people, I'm going to Ohio, I'm going to the dirt road, I want to fight, I want to be a professional fighter, what were some of the reactions like back in the day?
That's a good question. I think my buddies were probably always pumped about it. Like being just a bunch of like meathead university kids, like they were probably fired up to come watch me fight. I think my mom was pretty unsure about it at first. I know my first couple fights, she was not very into it and did not want to come. And then once I started racking up a couple wins, she was a little bit more okay with it, and she comes to almost all my fights now. Yeah, it depends on the person for sure. There's some kind of people that are not into violent sports and probably wouldn't approve of it, but I think for the most part, it was pretty positive.
Obviously the sport has advanced as a whole from that time. Bigger venues, more money in it, more promotions now. But I think another thing that doesn't really get talked about enough is also the evolution of like the science behind it. The nutrition aspect is good. For you, I know in addition to being a fighter, you're also a big nutrition guy. I think you've done some scholarly papers on it. For you, how cool has it been to also be able to focus on that stuff along with fighting?
Yeah, it's cool, man. And yeah, you're right. Like the sport is still pretty new and it's still growing a lot, but like, yeah, the way it's changed since when I started to now, like guys have multiple different coaches running different part of their camps. Like they got the strength and conditioning coach. A lot of guys have nutritionists and meal prep guys, and they're doing like testing for VO2 max and whatever. So yeah, it's crazy how far the sport has come. And it's probably still nowhere near like other professional sports, but yeah, hopefully one day we can get there.
Having that nutrition background, does that make weight cutting? Does that make training? Does that make all that easier for you?
I think so. I think like partly having knowledge on it, and I mean, I think a big part of it too is just like choosing a weight class that suits you as a person. I mean, I used to fight at 170, and I don't think no matter how much I knew about nutrition, it probably wasn't going to make that weight cut very easy. Fighting at 185 now, like I'm not like huge in the weight class, but I'm not small. But I mean, life is much more enjoyable now fighting in a weight class that I think I'm meant to be in.
When did that decision come about? I mean, was it a long time thinking of moving up to 185?
No, I had a few fights at 70. I think I had 3 fights at 170, and then I had one at 175, and then I had a bit of a layoff, and I was still pretty young. I was like low 20s, so I was probably like still grown into my man frame. And yeah, I was walking around at like 195, and I was pretty lean, and yeah, I think it just made sense. I was like super tentative about it at first. I thought I was going to be like very undersized. I probably was a bit small at first, but then over the years, I kind of grew into the weight class a bit more.
Absolutely. We talked about revolutionizing the sport, it growing and growing. Now we're at a point where you have these different promotions. PFL offering amazing opportunities for so many fighters. Big news recently. Looks like they're partnering with MVP here. What do you think of that? Do you think this could mean some big things?
I think so, man. They have a huge platform. They get many millions of viewers. So I can't really see this being anything but good for PFL and for the fighters.
I think for a long time, man, you're one of those guys always killing it, whatever promotion you were in. I think for whatever reason, you're kind of slept on. You didn't get too much notoriety. Now you're finding yourself in a situation where it seems like you're a solid co-main event type guy. Co-main event here, Charlotte. What an amazing show. Is it pretty cool to see some more recognition?
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen my fight announced yet anywhere still. I'm the main event, which is nice. But yeah, I still haven't seen anything anywhere about it. But I understand who I am as a person, and I'm not the guy you're gonna get nice little fucking sound bites and stuff to post to really sell a fight. So I get it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're taking on here Josh Silveira here. It's hair versus hair. I know this is a guy that you're kind of cool with, but overall, what do you think of him as an opponent?
Yeah, I think he's a sick guy, man. I remember last time we were in the same corner, so we're in the same lineup for weigh-ins and ceremonials and medicals and all this shit. So like I talked to him a decent bit, and he was like, cool, chill guy. I told him, you're fucking cool, man. We should fight each other one day. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, and here we are. I like the matchup. I think I have like many routes to beat him. I think he's kind of similar to me. I just think I'm a little bit better.
Your last time out, you took on Dalton Rasta. That fight week was a little heated between the two of you guys. Is it for you? Do you enjoy more being able to do a fight week where maybe it's kind of less drama between, it's less trash talk, and it's more straight to business?
Yeah, I find that stuff very uncomfortable, especially with someone like Dalton. Like it's rare that you're going to be like super friendly with an opponent on fight week, but to have someone like in my face talking shit is it's pretty uncomfortable. I like, it doesn't get in my head for the fight or anything. It's just like, fuck, dude, why do we have to do this? Can we just get this shit over with and fight? So yeah, I don't know how Josh is going to be. Obviously, he's never been my opponent before, but he's always been a pretty polite guy. So yeah, hopefully this week will be a little bit different.
Another big change this year compared to last year is we're done away from this whole tournament stuff, and now there's rankings. For you, I mean, as a fighter, like a lot of guys saying when they had the tournament style, it was nice because they knew when they were going to fight. But do you kind of like this more? Does it allow more opportunity for the PFL to build up fighters?
Yeah, I've seen like that angle before a lot. I think Ariel Helwani was like huge on that. He always said like the tournament is horrible. You're never going to be able to build stars because the guys who have the potential star power could get beat out in the first round, right? So it's hard to build those guys up. I don't know, man. It feels the same for me. I'm just trying to like fight and win fights, right? Whether it's in a tournament or it's in a ranking system or whatever. I don't know. I don't think it changes all that much.
That 185 division, the PFL is absolutely loaded. There's some great, exciting matchups in there with a big win over Josh. Do you feel like you're maybe towards that upper echelon of that division?
Yeah, I think so. What am I ranked? Number 6, and he's number 7 or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, anywhere in the top 10 is going to be a big fight, right? So, yeah, hopefully this and maybe like 1 or 2 more, and we're talking about titles again.
Absolutely. Obviously, you had an amazing run in Bellator. Obviously, one of your biggest wins was that Douglas Lima victory, man. Looking back at it, man, how big of a legend he is. Is that a pretty satisfying one?
For sure. Yeah, that one definitely stands out among the wins for sure.
Absolutely. It's crazy. We've talked about before on this show, but like what you have done is more than what 95% of the people who'd ever set out to do have accomplished. You fought on PFL, you fought on Bellator, you took out some big, big names. Did you ever get to reflect and look back at the journey?
It's hard to do when you're still in the middle of it, right? Yeah, it's easy to like sit back and talk about it a little bit and get asked about it in interviews and stuff. But I don't know, probably not as much as I should.
When you were traveling down those dirt roads, finding the fairgrounds in Ohio, did you envision this? Did you see one day that you'd be, co-main events, big promotions, fighting all these big names? Was this even a thought back then?
Not at all. I had no intentions of this. Like my first goal was just to have an amateur fight, and I lost my first fight, and then my next goal was just to win a fight, and I did that, and then a few more, and then I just wanted to have one pro fight, and then it kind of just escalated. I don't think from the beginning I ever really like thought this far down the road, but yeah, it's pretty cool where we've ended up.
For you, how do you think you have grown and evolved as a person from this crazy journey?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like I would have like ended up similar either way. Like I feel like I had a work ethic like in different aspects of life, like whether it was in school or whatever too. So I don't know. I don't know how much it's changed me as a person or anything, but either way, I'm like happy where I've ended up.
Absolutely. One thing I want to talk about is I've been teasing it. It's the whole hair versus hair thing. But if you guys have that kind of like mullet, in your opinion, who does the style better? If I remember correctly, he had mentioned in the press conference last year that you're cheating because your girlfriend's a hairdresser. Who do you think does it better?
The hair or the style?
The hair, the mullet, the flow.
Yeah, I'm going to say my hair is definitely better, but my girlfriend was creeping his Instagram account yesterday, and he looks like a pretty stylish dude. So he's probably got me beat in the style department.
There you go. For you, man, what's the ultimate goal here? You mentioned you're number 6 in the world now with the big win. You figure you're fighting a top 5 guy yet, or maybe a fight away from the belts after that. But what do you want to accomplish?
I would love to win the belt, man. I've been right there for a while, right? Like I think I had 3 fights in Bellator that probably would have put me for the title in the next one, and I fell short on all of them. So I've been like just out of reach for like years now, man. So it would be very cool to get there and achieve that.
Absolutely. We've seen some PFL guys, obviously from Canada, and I think the biggest one that sticks in my head, Olivier Aubin Mercier. That's a guy that had a good run in the UFC. He got out of it, went absolutely bonkers in the PFL, double champ, one of the biggest names. Do you think you could have a kind of a run towards the tail end of your career, kind of like that? Is that one of the goals?
I think so, man. I feel like I've got a lot left in the tank. So yeah, I see that as a possibility for sure.
For you, how much fun do you have doing this?
I have quite a bit of fun. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it starts to feel like work and it gets a little bit tedious, but I like what I do.
Absolutely. All right, AJ, last question for you, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome? Friday night co-main event, PFL Charlotte against Josh Silveira.
Win by any means necessary.
Absolutely. Well, AJ, man, always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you fight, my friend, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's it for us. Damn, Carl Peruzzi, Mr. AJ, Aaron Jeffery. You can watch him PFL August 7th, co-main event against Josh Silveira. It's going to be a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.